and welcome in to be our guest. And I am so pleased to have back with us Stephen Tears. And Stephen, you are with the Montgomery Humane Shelter. And I love you people. I love all your pets. And it's Christmas time. And there are a couple of things we wanted to talk about. Number one, you're going to be raising some money by gift wrapping. And we wanted to get that out to you.
Yes, so each year, I can't even remember what year that this all began, but we have Lee and Glenda out there working all the time. You know, I end up coming out because unfortunately I'm a pretty good rapper.
Great!
And, yes. But what a great program, our fundraiser that is for us. It's one of our bigger ones. It's a service that most people love to use, especially men, because we're not typically very good at it, and we want to buy the best present, and we want the present to look the best. And you know, everything is made bows. There's no stick-ons. Everything is handmade. You have to have the skill set to even volunteer out there to do the program.
That's true. That's true.
Now we're out at East Chase again. Thank you so much for them to giving us that spot. It's right there at the roundabout and the main stretch.
Okay.
A little bit farther down from like Victoria's Secret on that side of the road.
Okay. Okay.
There is an area in the back that you can park and bring up, because a lot of people bring us a large number of gifts, 20, 30, 40.
Wow.
So this area is a little hard to access it from the front door, but we have wagons and everything you need to park at the back and walk your stuff in, and we'll even assist you getting it back out. But the program started today. The event started today. We set up about 2-3 weeks ago to make sure we're ready to get after it on day one. So the ladies are out there just awaiting for gifts to walk in.
Oh, I love it. And now I don't know how much you charge. Does that depend on size?
It does. It does. So I mean, it ranges. I would think like a jewelry box, $3 or $4, all the way up to we've wrapped furniture. So it gets $20 or $30. So it all depends on really how much paper we have to use, and it's certainly reasonable. We've never had anybody say it's overly priced, but it goes to a good cause. It goes right to our pet treatment fund, which allows us to do all the things that are well beyond our typical day-to-day operations. I
can't even imagine how much it takes to run the Humane Shelter. And we were talking earlier, by the way, folks, the wrapping started December the 2nd, runs all the way up until the 24th, until Christmas Eve. So for you last-minute Charlies out there, there's help for you.
Yes.
Listen, we wanted to talk about something else, too. Often you see all these wonderful advertisements with the little puppy as the present. That looks good. But you know what? You need to think about it. If you're going to go and get a pet and give that as a gift, Stephen, that's a responsibility.
It is. It's a 10 to 15 year commitment, depending on which type of dog you go for, and sometimes longer. We encourage people to really give it some thought, make a family decision. You know, I'm a dad. Sometimes we get desperate on what is the best present to get for everybody, and although dogs and cats are certainly part of the family and can be very a great gift, but I think that people need to take time to discuss it with their spouse, the kids, because like we said, it's a 10 to 15 year commitment. You just don't want to do it on a whim.
No, and it's, you know, to take a puppy and then decide, oh, well, there's a lot of responsibility, that probably wasn't a good idea, and to bring it back, that's awful.
It is. It happens every day. Now, that's why we exist. So, you know, we don't want to discourage people bringing unwanted pets to us. There's a process to it, but that's why we exist. You know, make sure they're not out on the street in the elements, these cold mornings we're having. Now, there's lots of things you can do. You can actually get a certificate. I mean, you don't have to have the kids open a puppy in the Christmas morning. You can have a certificate and then watch our site. When one pops up that is best for your family, then you come out. So there's options to not rush the decision.
Well, I just think that we need to really, you can get all caught up in the romance of it all and the sweet little warm puppy or a kitty, but you know what, you better be a good parent to that animal. And we were talking earlier, it's been freezing cold. Let's talk a little bit about taking care of our pets in this kind of weather.
It's, you know, Alabama, with few exceptions, there are some dogs that thrive in the cold. There are, as much as we hate to discuss that. You know, a husky is certainly not going to be affected by our winters. But we encourage people. I mean, you are required to have shelter. It'd be amazing to put some kind of insulation inside of that shelter. Whether the dog uses it or not, you can't really control it, but you make it available just like food and water. I mean, these things are vital to their health, vital to their survival. And if anything were to happen to your pets in harsh weather, you can face charges. If you don't supply the basic needs that are required by law, you can be subject to investigation.
Well, that's only right. And by the way, if you have water out, double check. Be sure there's enough that it doesn't freeze. I've had that happen. So
Sure.
you gotta be responsible. They have to have water.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I love it. And let's see if we can get everybody to go out and get your presents wrapped for the Humane Shelter. Those are donations that help you, and we'll get right behind you on everything. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be right back.